Points on the board here. From one extreme area of work as an official, football or basketball official, with Tom Rao, we're going to take a look now at another extreme area of work. Michael Jordan is not Air Jordan. Ken Jordan is Air Jordan. World record holder in the vertical jump from a standing start, 60 inches, that's 5 feet, people, to some things we'll see here in a little bit that'll amaze you even more. We welcome Ken Jordan and his wife Brenda Battle Jordan to Points on the Board, and good to see you both again. Just yesterday we talked most recently, and Ken, the first chance we had to talk was back in the mid-'80s when, mid to late 80s, you began a journey that was one of the most unusual and most exciting, I've got to believe, of anyone that I've known, with some of the extreme stunts that you've done in jumping motor vehicles, racing at you very fast. Good to see you both again.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
And I'm sure your insurance man is glad that you're still here too, as well as all the other members of the Jordan family. But you know, Brenda, before I talk to Ken here just a little bit more about some of the crazy, wild things. This right here was, I'm sure, a lot less breathtaking than the other stunts that you saw him perform.
Yes, yes indeed.
What was it like for you watching on the sidelines with him doing some extreme stunts? And even though you know he's a terrific athlete, you had to have the heart pitter-pattering every time.
Well, you know, actually, I wasn't the lucky lady at that time.
Oh, okay.
But I had the pleasure of watching him on TV, and I still, I thank God that he's not doing that right now.
It's a little easier to watch on TV.
It's easier to watch, but I share in his success, and I'm very glad he's done that, and it's over.
It's over. And we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the things that you're doing now, Ken, both you and Brenda, with working with the kids in the Flint Community Schools. But let's continue to turn the pages back to the times that you first got started doing this. And I know that it wasn't an easy road, certainly just in doing the stunts themselves, but also it really was something that caught you by surprise, too, when the interest developed in your abilities. You and I know the answer to the question, but I know some of our viewers maybe didn't see the first shows we did back in the mid-'80s together. How did you get started doing this?
Well, in the service, some friends of mine decided to play a joke on me. And I was crossing the street, and they're like, well, hey, look, let's scare Ken. And while crossing the street, I noticed this car speeding up to me. And I'm like, okay, I wonder what are these people doing? And the next thing you know, I hear brakes. I'm like, uh-oh. So then I realized the only way out of this was up and over the car. So I leaped into the air. The car passed up under me. The car come to a stop. My friends jump out, and they're like, you jumped over my car. And I'm like, well, what do you expect me to do? Just lay there? You know, let you run over me? So after that, you know, a couple of years passed. And I noticed a guy jumping over a speeding car. That's incredible. And so I called him up and told him that I could do that. And they said, okay, send a tape in. I'm like, okay. So I go out there, jump over my car, send a tape in. And the next thing I know, I was getting, you know, offers to go on tour to do this. And so, as you say, one extreme to the other, it went from jumping speeding cars to jet dragsters. Matter of fact, I jumped a monster truck too.
Now, I haven't seen the monster truck video. I definitely believe you can do it. And we've got video. We're going to show it here in just a moment. But your start took place from a jump that was successfully done down at the Pontiac Silverdome.
Yes, yes.
And from there, boom, it was off on tour.
It was off, you know, on tour.
Well, so let's take a look at some video right now and give folks at home. For some of you, it might be a reminder of a show we did 15 years ago or so. For others, it might be something you're seeing for the first time. But Ken Jordan with the extreme stunts, sort of stunts to the extreme, in action. You know what? We didn't talk about this before, but I'm going to ask Craig we're going to see a replay right here. This is amazing. How long? Because I know that when we talked before, you aren't jumping forward per se. You're not trying to jump over it from one end to the other. You're trying to jump high enough in the air and stay there up in the air high enough, long enough for it to pass underneath.
Pass up on. A lot of people think, well, the car is going fast. Well, the faster it goes, the more dangerous it is.
Your timing has to be impeccable.
Right. Through the years of training the martial arts, you know, my hand and eye coordination, you know, come together. Matter of fact, we do things like catching speeding arrows and stuff like that too.
I don't want to see the video too much on that one. I'll believe you on that one. We've got another bit of video here that we'd like to take a look at and share with you at home. And this video is really about as extreme as it can get with this vehicle coming at you over 200. Is this one at 200 miles an hour?
They clocked it at 237.
237. Okay. Well, let's take a look at 237 miles an hour of vehicle come racing at Ken Jordan, and he gets high enough. Now, what's the setup, mental process right here?
Jump. Get into the air as high as you can.
And with that, and seeing that, could you plan and know that the heat that was going to envelop you was going to do that, or was that something that surprised you as it happened?
When I did my first jump, the afterburners wasn't on. So he told me, he says, well, you know, Ken, in this show, we're going to have to kick the afterburners on. And I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, okay, because of the speed, that, you know, heat wouldn't be too much of a factor, but I was wrong on that. So after leaping over the jet dragster, it felt like I leaped into a screaming volcano. And but as you see at the end, I do my victory dance. I toasted a little bit, you know, but I was very happy after the leap.
Well, bad pun. If you can't stand the heat,
get
out of the turbocharged.
That's right.
How many times through the years did you jump vehicles for programs like this?
Let's see, you know, over a 10-year period, I did about 100 jumps.